I'm Mrs. Pulowski from Family Recovery Center, and this is for fifth grade. Okay, I'm a prevention educator, so I go into all the Jefferson County schools, or you might even recognize me. All right, so I'm going to begin, and today's lesson is going to be two lessons combined, goals, and the second one is decision making. Okay, so let's get to it. So, goals. Do you think riding a bike is making a goal, reaching a goal? Yes, right? You really wanted it, so you went after it. So, and what did you do? You stuck with it, right? You didn't give up. That's what you need to do with when you make goals for yourself. And we all have to have goals. Okay? It's we're not rocks, we are people, so we all need goals, and you all have to, if you reach that goal, then you make another goal. Okay, but you practice riding your bike, you stuck with it. Okay, that's self-discipline, and that's what you need for reaching a goal. All right, think about your interest and your talents. What are you good at? All right, so some people, and you stick with it, right? You practice. But think about what they are, what your interest and talents are. Okay, some are good in school, right? And some are good in sports. Some of you make friends easily. So we're all different, okay? And today, so there's 6 steps in reaching a goal. We're going to talk about that. And these 6 steps are also for short-term and long-term goals. So, and sometimes we have short-term that lead to long-term goals too. Okay. So, short-term is what? So, short-term means that it's a day, something you want to reach within a day, or maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe a few months. It's up to a year. Okay. Term means time. So, the long-term goals mean that it's more than a year. Okay, it could be a few years, it could be 10 years. Okay, so self-explanatory though, but I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so here it is. This is the 6 steps into reaching a goal. First, you have to name it. So first, name your goal, and all this goes with name it. Okay, you see the heart, personal, it has to be personal. You have to want to do it, not your coach, not your mom, not your dad, not your best friend. You have to want to do it. Okay, the check mark means possible. Is it possible? Maybe you don't have that talent. Okay, and or maybe you don't have enough time. We're gonna go over, we're gonna do something in a little bit. Okay, so positive. You have to stay positive. You can't you can't say no or never, like I'm never going to pass that test. If you do that, then you might not, because our minds and bodies go together. So then you're thinking, okay, nah, I'm not going to do it. So when you think that, you might not do it. So that's why it's good to stay positive. Specify, the magnifying glass. Think of science, specific. So how long do you have? Okay, can it be measured? Right? You don't just say I'm going to read more books during the summer. You give how many. Okay, I'm going to read 3 books during the summertime. That's a goal. That would be your goal, and that you're specifying how many you want to read in that period of time. Okay. All right. So that all goes to name it, and then picture yourself reaching it. Picture yourself reaching it means maybe you want to be a teacher, so picture yourself up there teaching. Maybe you want to be an astronaut. Okay, picture yourself being an astronaut. Maybe you want to be a mechanic. Picture yourself working on cars or trucks. Okay, so that is all under step 2 for reaching a goal. So let's go. I want to stop right there, because let's say your goal is to get a good grade on your next social studies tests, and you're not very good at social studies, so you really need help. Okay, so first you name it. Okay, you really want that good grade. Is it possible? Yeah, probably. If you say that you want to get a good grade on the next test when you start right then after she or he, your teacher, assigns the test. Positive, you have to say to yourself, I can do this. I can get a good grade. Specify, well, how, you have to say what you're going to do. Okay, are you going to study for a half an hour each day before your test, or maybe you're going to study, maybe you're going to read the unit, okay, or chapter. So those are all for name. We named our goal. We named it, and it's going to be get a good grade on your next test. Picture yourself reaching it. Okay, picture yourself with that piece of paper, and oh, I got a B or I got an A. Okay, so picture yourself reaching it and say I can. Step 3, make sure you stay positive. Okay, make sure you stay positive. So I can do this. I can, or you can't say I'm never gonna get good grade on that social studies test. All right, so then our example, don't forget, is get a good grade. Think how to do it. This is your planning. So now you have to think, okay, how am I going to do this? What do I need to do to get a good grade? Okay. So think how to do it means maybe you need to go ask the teacher. That's what they're there for. Okay. So maybe you need to go ask them, hey, what do I need to study? Or maybe you have to, when you think how to do it, oh, I know. He gets a good grade in that class all the time. Maybe we can study together, right? But if you ask the teacher, maybe they'll tell you, okay, study your notes. Make sure you study the chapter. Think how to do it. All right, now step 5 is go for it. Now this is your test time, all right? So if you did all these and you stuck with it, like riding a bike, then you should do step 6 and celebrate your success, because most likely you'll get that grade that you want on that test. Okay, so those are the 6 steps in making to reach a goal, or helping you to reach a goal. All right, so if you don't succeed, it's one of these right there. Maybe you really didn't want it after all. Okay, maybe it wasn't that personal. Maybe it was your friend that wanted you to get a good grade on the test. Possible. Maybe you didn't have enough time. Maybe you said I got plenty of time, but you really didn't. Okay, you can't study the night before if you don't know the material. You're not going to get that good grade. Specific positive, maybe you weren't positive. Maybe in the middle there you said, oh, forget it, I give up. Okay, so if you give up and you don't stay positive, yeah. Specific, maybe you didn't specify. All right, this is what I need to do. I'm going to study my notes every day for 20 minutes, or I'm going to study my notes 20 minutes Monday, half an hour Tuesday, Wednesday another, or maybe it's break day, and then Thursday, Friday. Okay, all right, so those are to reaching, so these go with either short term or long term. All right, so that's why it's important to have goals. I can't stress that enough. And later on, we might be talking about drugs. So, drugs can definitely interfere with your goal. Maybe your goal was to play soccer when you are in 8th grade and be a good soccer player. But if you start smoking or vaping, now your lungs are going to be filled up with all those chemicals, so you're not going to perform as well as you did. Okay, so those are the 6 steps to reaching your goal. All right, Now, lesson 2 is decision making. All right, so decision making. We're not going to talk about easy stuff, or not really easy, but what do you like better? Vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream? Or do I want after school? Do I want to play video games, or do I want to call my friends up and go play basketball? Okay. Today we're going to talk about more difficult decisions you have to make, and you have to think about more of the choice. All right, and maybe it's going to affect others. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about today. So it's just not what you prefer. It's chocolate or vanilla. It's more. It takes a lot of thought. So here's the example on that page 5 that I'm gonna post. So, and it's number 4. All right. So you and your friend stop by the store on your way home from school. While you are talking to the cashier, you see your friend put a candy bar in her book bag. What do you do? Okay. So there you have 4 choices. A, pretend like you don't see anything. B, tell the cashier what you saw. Or C, tell your friend put that candy bar back. Or D, tell your parents what happened when you get home. So which one would you do? Okay. So if you notice, every single one of these has a consequence. And that's what we're going to talk about in a little bit. But pretend like you don't see anything. Well, if you pretend like you don't see anything, what might happen? Now, you might go to jail. That you guys might get caught because they might think that you're helping them steal the candy bar. All right. B, tell the cashier what you saw. Well, maybe she won't believe you, or he won't believe you, or maybe now you're both in trouble, right? Or also now maybe your friend's mad because you told on her. C, tell your friend put the candy bar back. That's probably the best choice, by the way. But if you tell your friend put the candy bar back, and maybe she won't listen, right? All right. So D, tell your parents what happened when you get home. Well, if you choose that choice, now you might not have a friend. You might not get to be with this girl anymore because she stole, and you shouldn't do that. That's wrong. All right. So this leads to making a good decision. And if you see STAR spells star, and you could think of being a star, all right, when you're making a decision. So, making a good decision. First you have to stop. You can't just do it, all right? You have to stop, and you have to think. And step 2 is think. You have to think. And what am I thinking about? You're thinking about the potential consequence, or the potential consequences. If I do this, then this will happen. If I do this, then this will happen. Those are your potential consequences. All right. So also you're picturing a positive outcome. Picturing a positive outcome means you want it to be good for you. You want it to be good for somebody else. If somebody else is involved, you don't want to get hurt. You don't want them to get hurt. That's a positive outcome. That's what you want. You don't want the negative outcome. A negative outcome means, I don't care if I get in trouble. I don't care if they get hurt. I don't care if I get hurt. That's a negative outcome. You don't want that. All right. So, and if you had me before in the younger grades, you always know every single choice you make has a consequence. All right. If I choose to study, like our goal, then I probably will get a good grade. If I choose not to study, then I probably won't get a good grade. All right. So, good choice, good consequence. Bad choice, bad consequence. All right. So now you act out your best decision. Acting out your best decision means your best decision is right here. It leads to a positive outcome. So is it okay? Is it good for you? Is it good for the other person? All right. A negative, remember, is you don't care. All right. It's not good. Okay. Next one. Last one is reflect. Reflect on what you did. Evaluate how you did. How'd you do? Did you make the right decision? If you stop and thought, and if you did think of the positive outcome and think of the consequence that made good choices, so it leads to good consequences, then yes, okay, you probably will make the right choice. But if you didn't, then you need to change the way you're thinking and change your behavior. I'll give you an example in a second. All right. So those are the four things you have to remember in making a good decision. And this goes for the rest of your life. It goes on. All right. So so here's what I mean. How many of us we all make mistakes, right? We all make mistakes. So, but if you heard that phrase, did you learn from your mistakes? You know, you have to learn from your mistakes in order to do good, in order to choose wisely. All right. So that's what that means. So here's your example. All right, you're at the breakfast table. This is Monday. You're at the breakfast table and your little brother is getting on your nerves. And your parents are very strict. So here you're eating and your little brother is getting on your nerves and you push him off the chair. Well, mom sees. She turns her around and she sees. And she hears and sees. So now you're in trouble. You're grounded. You can't, no cell phone, no electronics, no playing with your friends. All right? Now Tuesday comes along. Tuesday you have plans to go see a movie, one of the movies that you've been dying to see. Okay, you couldn't wait to see this movie, but it happens again. Your little brother gets on your nerves again, so you push him off the chair without stopping thinking, I'm not going to be able to play with or to go see the movie. All right, so now because you got in trouble again, right? Choice, consequence. So Wednesday comes along and you have plans to go play basketball with your friends. And that's your number one sport. You love basketball, right? You're good at it. So now Wednesday comes along and your little brother is getting on your nerves again. But you didn't push him off. You stopped and thought of the consequences. If I push him off the chair, I'm not going to be able to go to go play basketball. And I love basketball, right? So you decide, nope, you stopped and thought. You thought of the consequences. You thought of the outcome, that it's not going to be good for you, right? All right. So now you made up your mind you're not going to do it. So now you get to go play basketball with your friends. All right. So that's making a good decision. That's learning from your mistakes. That's what that is. Okay. All right. One more thing and I'm done. So these little cards I have, these are decision-making cards. And like the kids will show me, or you students will show me with your thumbs of what you would do. If, yeah, I would do that. No, I don't know, maybe. Okay. So you're home alone. Here's the first one. And your mother has told you to read and do your homework until 4 o'clock. But you're home alone, don't forget. You are tired of doing homework and your favorite TV show comes on at 3:30. Do you turn on the TV? So some of you might say, yeah, or some of you, no, because you really want to study and do what your mom says, okay? All right, here's another one. Your best friend told you who he or she likes, and you promise not to tell anyone else. But You are with a group of popular kids who are talking about who likes who. You could be the center of attention if you told your friend's secret. Do you tell the group your friend's secret? So do you give up your friendship to be popular? Right? Or are you a good friend saying, nope, forget it. I'm not going to say anything even though I want to be and fit in. Okay? All right. You see how the consequences are? Right? You might lose that friendship if you do tell your secret. You probably would, right? Or maybe you are a good friend and say, I want to keep our friendship. All right? All right, here's another one. You are looking for something in your older brother's drawer when you find an open pack of cigarettes. No one else is around. Do you smoke a cigarette? All right. So do you smoke, or we can even say vape now. So do you smoke that cigarette if no one else is around? All right. Choice. Yes, I smoke the cigarette because no one's around. Now, your consequence might be because nicotine is in cigarettes and nicotine is the number one addicting drug. So now you might get addicted to it, right? If you do smoke that one time, it only takes one time. So now you get addicted like your brother does. So, or do you, nope, not going to do it. Do you make that choice? All right. And then the consequence is you made the good choice. You're not addicted to it, and you don't smell like smoke and your parents don't find out. All right. So that's that one. Last one. You left something in your classroom. And when you go back to get it, you see two boys huddled in a corner over a backpack. One boy is showing the other a gun. You quietly close the door before they can see you. So no one saw you. Do you report what you saw? Okay? So, if you say no, here's the trouble with not reporting that. Here's the consequence. All right, now these kids might be, that's why he came to show them the gun, because he might be, maybe he's going to shoot somebody. Maybe he's going to shoot the school. All right. Maybe he's going to shoot you too. You don't know. So there is the consequence in that. But should you report it? Absolutely. Are guns okay in school? No, they're not allowed. And unless you're a police officer. And you have to be how old? Okay, you can't be a 5th grader, 6th grader, 7th grader, 8th grader and have a gun. Okay, it's illegal. All right, so your consequence, and by the way, it's reporting. It's not being a tattletale or snitch. It's reporting. Reporting is different. Reporting is, that's wrong. So let me go get help. All right, that's reporting. All right. All right. Well, that's all I got for you. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.